Hello everyone, I am assuming we're live right now.
I'm just checking the YouTubes to see if it's
Alright,
up.
so I'll
Ish.
just blabber till then till you give me a confirmation that we're actually live. Where we can
Yep,
see
we
that
are
one,
live.
two,
We are.
three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9 drivers have made zero effort in changing their logo.
Yes.
So we can assume that they're all in one team.
Yeah. That they were also sweating.
Yeah, because the ones who've actually changed their logo were more inclined towards embracing the aesthetic part of this game rather than the actual.
Yeah. The aesthetic part of one livery if you don't pay your life to Codemasters for Bitcoins and yeah. But with all that being said, welcome everyone to season 12 of the Indian Racing League. This is Vifix and I am joined in commentary by Yash. Yash, what do you have to say to the audience about this game?
Um,
As I expected Bullister who immediately spins and breaks his
he's
front wing.
just
Yeah.
lost to win. Yeah,
It's
he
not a good
is.
omen for how this season's going to go, but hopefully that wasn't.
I love how I quite like Smith's livery here, but for some reason, because of these F1 World Cars or whatever they're called, these cars are looking even more animated than before. And wow, vintage really went. Yeah, I don't know what to describe that with, but yeah.
Yeah, it's.
But I don't think anybody's really tried replicating any livery here. Um, yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
Wow,
wait.
both
For the
Rahul and
viewers, non-confusion, I will just go over who is each other's teammate because we not allowed to have equal cards.
I, I was just gonna ask if Rahul and Domitor are teammates because they have the exact same livery on both their cars with the exact same sponsors. And let me just go on board with Rahul here, where he is on a lap now into turn one, and he goes a bit deep there, but I think it's well managed. He is on hot lap, so he's not using the overtake yet. Do you really think VFix that people are going to forget that there is an overtake option in the
They
in qualifying?
might. From what I was speaking to the drivers before in like the preparation for this, a few of them did actually forget about that aspect. Of course, Jeff, your race engineer, does remind you every time you exit the pits, and it is every time you exit the pits. There is no other message. Gone are the days of no heroics. Now it is just we made change a few changes to the way ERS works this year. So you're going to have a different modes to play around with. Let me know if you want me to talk you through the changes. So as you can see, someone's clearly heard that message quite a lot already. Um, as I'm Rahul in the middle sector, is he going to get held up by the car in front? No, he's not. They're very compliant. Okay, so let me just run through the list of team and drivers for to quell everyone's slight confusion here. Okay, so we have Archit and Sonic as teammates. Shah as I am Rahul does a 28-4. That was a good banker.
he, he uses overtake on the start finish straight at the end of the lap,
Oh,
which is
and he
quite smart.
almost holds up, and he breaks all the brake boards. So if anybody is running racing line off, probably F17 Suraj, that you're gonna have to get something. You're gonna have to decipher your information by some other means. All right. So Archit and Sonic Hawk, shot triple to four. Welcome back, King. Oxidize Rage. They're both teammates, Vintage Player and Abhi, as always, teammates. I am Rahul and Suraj, F17. Their teammates, Viper Speed and Thakurwa, another OG. Those two are teammates. And Falcon, also known as Mayank, and Ace, another OG pairing. That's another teammate partnership. Deadly Mosquito and Sid Venkatesh. as teammates, Domitor and Polyester as teammates, Srivastav and Abdul Samad as teammates, and Smith and Azun are teammates. And Azun has already retired, but he's still in sixth place because no one has set a lap aside from the top one. No, the top five. Yeah, the top five. So that's how things stand right now. Um, yeah, Bahrain, Yash, what do you think about this as a track on this game? I seem to have lost contact with Yash for now,
I'm
but
here. I'm just looking at the lockup smoke, which remains for quite a long time after the car passes the next
yeah, I
three
don't even know
corners of
whether
the road.
they're actually locking up or not. I assume a fair few of them have ABS on, so I don't even know what they're like locking up on. You just love these features that Cody puts in for immersion.
So Shah's on his lap right now. He's, I think, the only guy on a lap
On a controller right now, and he paid me to say this. So the first wheel champion of IRL goes
is now on a controller.
P8. Yeah, he's on a controller now. That goes P8 right there. So far, quite close. At the front, it's a duopoly between I am Rahul and Sonic, a 28-4 and a 28-7. We will see the lap time stumble from everyone in the field. I assume a lot of them are just dialing it in right now. Um, From the liveries, I can tell who pays money on this game and who doesn't. That's all the data I have for you right now.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna comment more on that. Does is Deadly Mosquito in the Ferrari in the actual for the actual teams?
Yeah, I think they him and Sid are, hence the red, the vibrant red.
The
Sid
vibrant
going.
red with that blue. Okay, they have separate colors. I think Deadly Mosquito. One of them didn't get the memo right,
Yeah,
but
Sid has
we'll let
definitely
that
gotten the
pass.
memo. Red helmet, red car, red gloves, and he is in P3 right now, which is good for him. His race pace is he's someone whose race pace comes on stronger than he does in quali. Vintage is not on a representative lap, and I don't think Shah is either. Vintage is doing runs on the medium right now. Um, a lot of cars just now coming out, like Suraj, for his first run, almost halfway into the session. I don't really understand this, why drivers do this, why they don't set a lap time for a long time in the session.
Yeah, and quite interesting because now, I mean, with the new tire physics, the softs are the most disgusting tires to drive on in the race. And especially in a track like Bahrain, where the softs are pretty much not going to last you till turn two. So I think it doesn't make sense to actually keep your tires for the end because. But then
Unless
again,
it's
a
like a
lot of
late safety car with like 3 laps, 3 laps left. There's no like actual like reason, rhyme or reason.
Wow, I just saw
As
Suraj breaking into the last turn. I don't know what number that is, but breaking into the last turn, and there was smoke coming out of his front wing.
okay, maybe
Wow.
he has some different level of grip hack that I am not aware of yet. As he breaks into turn one, gets it nice and tidy early on the par. I mean, you can go as early on the par as you want on this game. It really doesn't like at all punish you. Slight lockup on the front right is not desired and is
Is
invalidated. His
yeah.
lap, brilliant. Suraj and invalidations, of course, a great love story of league racing as he almost bins it on the exit of that turn. But yeah, I'm surprised that it's such a like the only three people in the 28s as Falcon Mayank goes P3 to 28-9. So I assume it's between I am Rahul and Sonic unless someone can like really spring up a charge. I don't really think anyone else is in pole contention. That being said, it's telling me Domithor is going purple. in the first
Do
sector,
you
but
think they
then
finally fixed that?
I don't think so. Which is why I have my reservations about it. I'd like to believe everyone is always going as fast as they possibly can and are always going faster, but Cody's is where my trust issue started. As Azun is still not last, by the way. Even though we're more than 10 minutes into the session now, Abhi and Suraj are still behind him, which doesn't even make
So
any
I
sense because
think
they came out on
Domitor
track.
may be onto a good lap here, and I lost Domitor. Where is he?
He was 2 tenths up on his lap through that middle sector.
28.755, whereas Rahul has a 28.7. Yeah, he's not. He was not a purple,
Yeah, so the game, Cody's,
and he's already
please
used up his
fix.
deploy.
And he
Oh,
goes
and he lifted off.
P5.
He lifted off. He lifted off before the start finish.
That's interesting. Yeah,
Even Max Verstappen used to not do that.
yeah, he's trying to keep the competitive balance as Vintage is still on mediums. 13 minutes into the session, not sure how advisable that is. Smith, meanwhile, in all of this, goes third fastest with 28.7. I knew that Smith was going to be good because he said his pace was nowhere before the race began. So that's how you know a driver is actually confident if they say they are nowhere. As I am
Meanwhile,
Rahul's done sector
Suraj,
1. He is a
I
10th up.
think Suraj is not on the lap yet.
I am Rahul going through the middle sector now. He's barely up on his time. Sonic is almost 2 tenths up in sector 1. So let's see, as Chips Chima has joined the lobby, and I assume he will join this party chat soon, unless I forgot to invite him, in which case let me.
Sonic Hawk seems to be quite in control of the car. It seems like a car he's balanced pretty well
He is
because
quite
a
good
lot
at
of
Bahrain. I have to hand him this. He is like if a circuit specialist existed, it's probably Sonic at Bahrain. I've seen him in the past be very competitive at this track, so he definitely loves it. Hello, Chips.
Hola,
Buongiorno.
buongiorno. I hope I'm audible.
finally we have someone who knows the track. I mean, sorry, the corner numbers.
Yes.
Hopefully,
I think you might be mistaken, yes.
Right,
Let's.
as
it's all
Sonic Hawk,
right.
I am Rahul. Meanwhile, improved
And
by a
Sonic
tenth,
Hawk
and Sonic goes.
actually, wow.
He shortened the gap though. It was nearly 3 tenths in the first runs, and now it is less than a tenth. So
But
all to
he
play
used
for.
his deployment to the perfection because like didn't run out of the deployment. He had enough of battery left. He was literally on 2% as he came across the line. So seems like it's quite planned out there.
Yeah,
So I've missed
and
most of quali, guys. Can you give me a little breakdown of what's happened?
not really. A lot of people doing race runs and just front four in the 28s, and then
And then the
another
front
four
wing
cars.
is
Oh,
locking
Yeah,
up rather than the
yeah.
front tires.
yeah. I think I can see that. So I see a few drivers struggling. All those who have gone on board with are struggling. It's Archit, Mosquito. They're all having a bit of a tough
Yeah,
time
and Vintage Player
on the
has
route
is doing the
laps.
old Malav strat, if you remember, of just staying out and doing
Of
race runs in
course.
qualifying.
I mean, that is the
Oh,
ideal way
and
to go about
Azun
a
retired
qualifying
10
session.
seconds in, and he's still not last yet because Abhi and
Well,
Suraj haven't done a lap. Even though that makes no sense because they literally went out on track, so should be last. I don't know why.
so, yes, this is going to be an interesting end to the session, I think, because top two separated by less than a tenth, and P3 over 4 tenths behind the leader. So, I don't know. Okay, guys, what's the livery situation looking like? Has people gone creative or have they just gone with the default livery?
I think Sid has committed to the bit. He has gone red everything, um, from helmet to overalls to gloves. Even
I mean,
the tires are red.
Well, if you want to know,
following suit with Deadly Mosquito. Oh wow, I have someone drifting in front of Deadly Mosquito. I don't know who that was.
Um,
And while Deadly Mosquito was on a lap, nice.
yeah,
That
so
was
that
that's
really
is,
nice
I
of
think
probably
him.
that
our.
is that is Shard 224,
That was Shah. Oh,
who I
he literally
think
drifted through.
he's back after a long hiatus, is he not?
Yes, he
Uh,
is.
yeah, there are a few
A
faces of
very
Darth
long
Vader
honeymoon.
before. Yeah. Well, there's never a specified length that you need to take for a honeymoon, but yeah, I see a lot of
Abdul's on
people.
track. He's
Like,
on a lap, I
yeah,
think, right now in P7. Beautiful looking car. Reminds me of
is it the Breaking
colorful.
Point car from last game?
Yeah, the What
Yeah,
is
actually,
that?
very nice looking car. Yeah.
What is that?
Good
Some
one,
sort of new
Abdul.
feature? Breaking point, because
Codemasters have treated the players to a grand total of 4 liveries in this game. So, I mean, the players don't really have a lot to
two
play
two
around
of
with.
those are just esports liveries. So
Okay, so
that's
2 liveries.
yeah.
We have two
Am I the
whole
only one?
liveries.
Am I the only one, or does Abdul Samad's car have like an excessive toe-in on the front tires? And it's just him. And I know that the game doesn't change physics even if you've modified your setup like that, but
Maybe it's those Uber the Uber tips are working nicely for him as he absolutely demolishes that middle sector. 3 tenths up on his own lap. This is going to see him challenging for the top three here. So
This could put
definitely a
him into
lot of
P4. This
in
could
real
put him
life
ahead of
practicing
Falcon.
going on.
Yeah. This could put him ahead of Falcon. Comes up through the
I
last
think he's
corner.
going to be between Falcon and Sid. I think it's going to
Falcon
be
and
really
Smith.
close.
I think so. That's going to be the case. And he comes up to the line. It is P6. He does
Oh,
not
he
Oh, I think he
improve
ran
much.
out of
on
battery
Sid.
there.
He lost time in the last sector. Yeah, last sector is where he lost time, and I think more so out of. I think you're right. He ran out of battery. So
We
people
have
on their
Viper
out
speed on a
laps.
lap now.
with the
And
zebra car kind of reminds me of
Yeah.
yeah, it is
What is
zebra
it?
car. It is a zebra car.
Black
wow, and
Forest
he's
Sport.
already halfway through his battery.
Wow.
Is there a chance he
Although
forgot to turn the battery off
this
during his hot lap?
disproportionately you would use more of a battery in that first zone because
That is
it
true. That is true. No doubt about it. But then your
Is
deploy
he?
will get over eventually.
I
oh,
think
there's
he's
going to be a
manually
lot
using
of traffic
battery.
here. Look at Bully Street. He's gonna have to go through so many cars, and this is
I think he
definitely
may
going to
as well
ruin his
abort
lap.
this. Should he
Yeah,
abort this? What should he do? He
second
may
child
as
in
well.
China right there. Aborted.
You know?
Uh,
Oh my god. You
Viper
may
speed
as
is
well
up
abort this.
3.5 tenths on his lap as well in the middle sector. So this might be a
Thing
good lap,
is,
but he is 1.6 down. So
if you notice, Viper's manually using his battery. He's not particularly using it in the automatic setting. So I'm not sure if he's done that on purpose or what, but he improves by 2 tenths, but it's not for a change of position. He stays in
well,
P10.
and my game is just glitching the F
Well,
out of.
I'm
I mean,
watching the
that's a
chat.
feature, yeah. That's a
Shrikant does.
feature.
What is fun watching you bottle the championship?
What is
Nice
fun?
one.
What is love? One must ask that. And Buliester did back out of the lap there. He will go for another hot lap. And we have just under 30 seconds left on the clock starting
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
Vinay is
watching.
finally on a soft tire.
Yeah, nice.
And
Finally.
if you notice, there's a rarity on the track. It's F17 down in P18. He is about to start his one and
And
only
he's
flying
locked
lap of the
up right at the
qualification.
beginning. Although the strat is to lock up on this game because it makes you go faster. Don't question it. Just go with it. It
Just
makes you
do
go
it.
faster on
Who's
these
that ahead of him?
heavy
Next
braking
driver.
zones. Whoever it was moves out. He hits too much of that curve though, and that's gonna cost him a lot of time. That inside curve. Yeah, you can see
Checkered flag.
28.6, and Abhi's not crossed the line in time, which
Abhi did not
means
come out onto the track.
that he will not. He will be starting behind
Oh,
us.
and
soon.
Deadly Mosquito got impeded. Now is impeding
Oh, Smith
Sid.
hasn't crossed the line in time either. He's missed it.
That
Oh,
is
then as
troublesome
Sonic
for
is
Smith.
not improved on his sector 1 from last time around. Let me follow the two pole contenders here as Nabshan drills in the 28.6. The Nabshan of old is coming back.
It seems so.
As I am Rahul goes through the middle sector now. He's almost at the split. No traffic in front of him. What is he going to do? He's barely up on his time. What's Sonic going to
And
do?
well, look at the two Ferraris or supposed Ferraris coming through the.
He's barely up as well. This is going to be close between Raman and Sonic. Who has saved up more battery? Into the last sector we go. Last corner. I am Rahul. Can he take it further away from anyone? F17 goes B3 with a 28.5. As I am
But
Rahul
here comes
sends a
Let's see what he does.
28.0. Absolutely sends
Oh,
it.
he doesn't have a reply to that. Does Domitor have anything? Oh, he goes
Oh,
P4.
he goes P5, P4. Yeah,
Buliester
that
doesn't
is.
put in a lapse. So yeah, that's it.
Wow. That got hectic really fast at the end there.
Well, I see that the orders changed. That has been a hectic end to the session there. I see F17 up into P3. It's really sad for Smith. He could not get to the line in time. I think he would have been in this fight
I think
as
that
well.
track improved quite a lot at the end.
Track evolution around here is quite drastic, even in real life, isn't it?
Yeah,
at
and
Bahrain.
now let's just see. It'll be a matter of keeping up with the leading group. Like, how many cars are in the lead group, first of all, and if anyone can break away. Because if anyone can break away, I think they've won this race. Because it's so hard to break DRS in this game. Because of the high ERS region on even a track like this, like Bahrain, where everyone's running very high downforce setups, I would say.
And there you go. That's the end of qualifying.
Let's run through the grid order. It is I am Rahul in first, Sonic Hawk in second, Suraj third, Domitor in fourth, Navshin in fifth, Smith Shah in sixth, didn't get to do last turn, unfortunate. Archit in seventh, Sid Venkatesh in eighth, Falcon Mayank in ninth, that was the last of the 28th. Then Abdul Samad in 10th, Vintage in 11th, Oxidize in 12th, Deadly Mosquito in 13th, Viper Speed in 14th, Bullister in 15th, Shah in 16th, and Azun and Abhi without labs in 17th and 18th. Just
Oh,
got through
almost
that.
a full grade. Do we have formation lab, guys?
No, we don't.
No, we
I mean,
don't.
we were supposed to keep it off either, at least.
Yeah,
Okay, no, no
that's
worries.
what I was
So
told.
I thought we were gonna get to see a chance, have a chance to look at the tires. But what's your predictions, guys? What's the strategy gonna be like? Anybody on softs? What's your take?
If they are, then they're going to be in the pits within lap 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think anyone on softs is committing to a two stop. This is a track where it's because of the high deg, the one stop and the two stop are basically equivalent. It just matters about.
Thing is, I don't expect to see anybody start on the softs, but I expect to see some people chuck on the softs maybe towards the end of the race.
Yeah, you
I think
can do
softs
the
will.
two stop and put the softs
Yeah.
in the end because that will be quite effective around on the track like Bahrain. But
So, what about a
with the
medium soft? Is that a viable strategy in your eyes, rather than going on to the hards, avoiding the hards completely? What do you say
I
about that?
would say if the drivers do know how to get the hards into the optimal window, then I think there's nothing like the hards. The hards are way too supreme if you do get it, keep it in the right window in terms
I think
of
it comes down to
temperature.
safety car timings as well. What's going to dictate
Will
strategy
there be a
here?
safety
So
car? Historically, I don't think Bahrain has been very kind to the drivers in terms of giving safety cars.
yeah,
Okay, who's going to do the race start? Me, you.
I guess I'll do it. 4, 5 red lights, lights out, and away we go. It is a good start from I am Rahul. Suraj immediately takes over. Sonic on this carnage at the back already. I see front wings clash as the top two are quite cleanly through the front pack at least, as I will give an update on tire situation after the end of lap 1 when things have settled down a bit, as Falcon is trying to go up
Oh,
around the outside of I think that was Abdul, now down the inside of Sid Venkatesh, who goes wide and he'll have to rejoin track back. It is quite settled up in at the front right now.
yellow flag for the back. I think somebody had a spin. Is that Azun? That is Azun who's had a spin. Up
Wow.
front, though, it was a horrible start for Sonic Hawk. He got so much
Yeah,
wheel
but he
spin
is on
exiting
the
grid.
mediums though, so he does have the
Agreed.
tire
Oh, and
offset.
someone Archit loses the car coming out of the corner, so
Oh,
he's
there's
also.
almost contact between ninth
Vintage.
and 10th.
Yeah.
It's almost
And
pushing each other.
Sid Venkatesh, his line is compromised, and Vintage looking to make his way past Archit. I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
I
he'll be
am
able to do
Rahul
that
is
right
trying
now.
to do the correct thing right now. He's trying to break the DRS because remember, guys, it's DRS on immediately now. There's no more 2 lap
Yes.
wait. So the leader has even lesser time to pull out. And when you have lesser time to pull out, it can lead to complications.
Well, yes, we all know that. And I think somebody who will be really worried about that is going to be Sonic Hawk. He is already more than a second behind 7. That
Yeah.
will be an issue because he will not get the DRS should he not close up to within a second. Further back, Noopshan was very close to Domitor. I think he might be sizing up a move, and so would Abdul. Abdul and Falcon. This is looking like there's a possibility of a move coming into the. I think it's
So
turn 3.
before we get into the move, I'm just gonna go through the tire situation very quick. We have the front two in the soft. We have Sonic Hawk on the mediums, then Domitor on the softs again. Nuption on the mediums with
Oh,
Smith
Archit
on
spin.
the soft. We have Falcon who's on the hard tires there, so he's the
Oh,
lead hard
that's
tire
unfortunate.
car. There and Rahul has a big moment, and they're almost going to be side by side
Oh,
going
are
into
the
that
temperatures
turn.
already playing a factor here?
So
Those
quickly, so
softs
then you have
would be
Vintage and
quite.
Sid on the mediums, then you have Shah, Viper Speed, Oxidize on the soft, you have Deadly and Archit on the hards again, Abhi on the mediums, Azun on the softs, and
Oh,
Bulyester, who's in the pits right now on
Has
the
to serve at 10
mediums.
seconds as well.
well,
So
Up front, it is really getting very feisty.
yeah, the top
Domitor
two
is
have
right
kind
there.
of just
Yeah.
And you
edged
see
out right now.
Domitor
As Domitor's
right
on
on the
the
gearbox.
inside of Sonic, that is going to be a brave overtake, and he gets it done. Is he going to be
But
able
he
to keep the
overshoots
car?
it.
No, he's overshotted. That will allow even option, I think, to
Nopshan?
have a
No,
go.
I don't think he will. I
They
don't
go
think he will.
side by
Nopshan will not get
side.
it. No, he won't. Domitor will have the track position come the corner exit. Yeah, there you go. But I think
And
he will
I'm
have the
watching the
threat on the
battle
main
for the
straight.
lead. Now, I think these two guys would be better served working in tandem here to get away from Sonic, because in a few laps, Sonic's going to be faster than them. So is an option.
That is true, but I don't think. I think the racing drivers, they don't want to be the
As
ones
Suraj
chasing. They want to be the one
demolishes
leading.
Iron Owl's fastest lap right there.
Absolutely, and he will
Nupshin going
not.
3 wide, maybe. No, he's
And that's a
gotten the
great
move
move
done.
by Suraj into turn one.
And
He
they
stays behind at the
almost
DRS detection point. He will get DRS down this straight,
It's a
but he does
Leclerc
not get a
move
good
from
run.
2022.
He does not get a good
Just
run.
getting DRS on
For the
purpose.
back, Sonic Hawk and Nupshan very, very close. Sonic Hawk has lost a lot of ground. I don't think he's particularly enjoying these medium tires.
Yeah, I think he's struggling. So right now, it is definitely advantage Nupshin. If he can
Yeah.
withstand these soft tire guys,
Both of them are on the
early
same
pace
compound, but
barrage.
yellow. I think that's Oxidized who's had a moment, a spin. I think that is
Yeah,
the case.
oxidized
Oxidizer
range.
had a spin.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
we've
is
seen a lot of those before.
poor start to the race for him there. And yeah, okay, somebody we've not talked about for a while is Smith Shah. He is in P6. He's had a quiet start to the race after a pretty disastrous end to qualifying. He is at the tail end of the leading pack here. I think he would want to make some moves. Because behind
Yeah,
him,
if not,
about
he
a
should
3 second
just
gap.
pit. He should just pit because there's no point in him. He's on softs right now, and the guys ahead of him are just going to pull away. He does have a sizable gap. There is a
3 second
big
between
gap
him and
here
Falcon.
between Azun and Oxidize, just 5 seconds, and then a 31-second gap, which I don't think anyone is like actually that far ahead
I think
to
he's
come out
boxed.
in this gap. But
Yeah, I think he's boxed Villester, so.
yeah, I know
Yeah,
that's.
Villester gap.
Yeah, damage up front. Let's have a look at Seven and Rahul once again. This is take 2. As we start lap 4, what's going to happen? Yellow flag. Ballista's had a spin. We'll come back to that in a minute. 7 with some great car control. The rear end stepped out for a moment there, but he still keeps it within the realms of the track limits. Further back, I see Abdul and Falcon trading places, but I don't think 7 is going to make a move at this
Wasn't
point.
really a good lap from an option right there because he somehow lost time despite the fact that he's probably now
So-
it's the crossover period between tires.
So I can see by little what I can see on the wheel is that an option your rear tires are something above 100 degrees right now, which is actually the operating window of the mediums in this game. So
Very close to a move
it's
on
going to be
Sonic.
really. If you see Domitor, he's sliding all over the place already. So
Yeah, the softs. Okay, was the tire wear situation like in this game? I'm not too aware of it.
So
think the
this is a high tire deck circuit. So that's why I said the one stop and the two stop are basically equivalent.
The case?
It's looking interesting. I think by next lap, the mediums should be faster than the softs.
I think that is already the case because I see Smith having better car control, but I don't think he has the grip right now. I can see he has a lot more pace.
meanwhile, Suraj is right at the
locked
back of
within him.
Rahul. You see, Rahul has absolutely no rear end in his car right now. Suraj is much more controlled. He is right at the back now. He should be able to pass.
As Shah
Will he
gets a
want to
3
pass,
seconds, the first 3 seconds
he
as he does
breezes
pass.
past Rahul, but Rahul will come back. Oh, Suraj goes a little deep
Meanwhile,
there.
Smith going down the inside of Sonic, same corner, side by side. That is beautiful racing. Is Sonic going to be able to keep his car on the inside? No, he is not. But he will get DRS. Both of them get DRS actually,
Great
because it's a
respect between
DRS
the
win.
pair of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
That
I
was
think
nice
Nupshan
racing.
needs to overtake Domitor now. He's shedding way too much time to the cars ahead.
I think
He needs to be
Sonic is-
decisive at this moment.
Sonic is not enjoying these medium tires at all. He may be better suited for the hard tires. I think those will probably get him a little more grip when he does decide to box. But I think for the medium runners, it's going to be a one stop, and for the soft runners, it might be a two stop, depending on what their strategy choices are.
Yep, that is definitely an astute observation.
See, you have Falcon, who's Mayank, who's just 10 seconds off the lead on the hard. So don't count him out because that offset will come back to him eventually.
Yeah, and he's closed up a lot on Abdul. I remember the gap was like a second and a half or something last lap. So that tire has definitely now.
Okay.
We might
Now
see pit stop
crucially-
soon
crucially now, Nupshan is very close to Domithor. Smith is also not able to catch up to the medium runners. So I think now this is the crossover point. You were right, Vifix. Lap 5 is where the mediums will really come into play as
So do you
opposed to
think
the top
Suraj is
riders.
going to go into the box? No,
No,
he's not.
no.
He's staying out. I am Rahul is staying out. Let's see what
The
Domitor
top
does. He
two
should
have
also be
enough
staying
of a
out.
gap right now
Rahul is
to
going to make
not
a
pit.
move.
They have
Rahul is
a
going to make a
5 second
move.
gap. I think
And
Navshan needs to go
Rahul,
for it. Sometimes you have to go for the kill, and this is, I think, one of those moments where you need to kill.
But he's not, if
He does get
Navshan
the
goes
move
deep.
done.
Domitor
Can he get the move done on the inside? They leave space. You can see it
No.
on. But who has
Good
DRS? It
racing.
is
Good
Domithor.
racing,
Front.
Domitor.
No, nice racing
And the
between
lead
Domithor
is
and
gonna
Nupshan.
keep
But
swapping
yes,
between the top two. I think that this is
I think they
very.
can do that. Yellow flag, is that a safety car?
No,
That
that's
causes safety
Shah
car
in the
is not.
pits. I
No, it's
think
Oxidized. It's
it's a.
Oxidized. No. Oxidized is having a pretty torrid race here tonight.
Yeah, Oxide
Yeah,
and
Shah is in
Police
the
are
pits meanwhile
not the
though.
best nights for them, but no race is won at turn one, and no season is done after round one. So you know, uh, and of course, safety cars could yet come into play,
Of
especially given
course.
how packed everything is. Meanwhile, I'm following Mayank now behind Abdul.
Abdul.
He should be getting this move done. And as Yash said, it is quite close now between the top, between him and the top. Especially if these guys are on two stops, then he's definitely in play.
I think so. I think what he needs to do is just maintain his consistent pace throughout his pit till his pit stop window. Why do we have a yellow flag? Can you see
That
that as
is
well?
a spin in Viper Speed.
Oh, I think that's Viper
You
speed.
have
Okay,
a
what do the
four-car
leaders
battle here
do?
with Sonic Hawk, Smith, Nupshan, and Domitor now. So
7 into the leader once again. Keep trading places.
Yeah,
And okay, there's a lot of weaving
oh,
going
there's a
on, and
lock
somebody
up
in the
there from
box. That's
Suraj
Abdul.
though.
Abdul is into the pits. The
Yeah,
first
that's
Nupshan,
smart. He was
Sonic
going to
Hawk,
get overtaken
Domitor.
anyway, as Nupshan
Oh,
does
and
to
it's
go
a
on
three-car
inside.
battle into turn one. Wow, this is a little tight here.
Ooh, that
some
was.
contact there. Little bit of
Does
contact
can
there.
Nupshan keep the position though? He's absolutely going defensive, very very defensive. Now Domitor has to go long way around. Do his tires have the grip? At this point in time, no, they do not. Nupshan finally looks to have
But
gotten this
he's
move
there,
done, but
he's
he's
there.
still going
Domitor
on
is right
this.
there.
I what a
Wow.
move from Domitor! Wow, 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 wow.
That was a great move,
And
but he's going to go for the dive there
no.
option. He attempts it, but he opts against it.
And
He
Domitor
did. He
goes
put
walking.
Domitor. He put Domitor off because he tried covering that move.
Smith is right there in the
Oh
mix.
no,
looking to
Smith's
make
not
a
going to be
move.
able to switch the line. I think he tried that
Sonic
Fernando
on the
Alonso
outside
overtake.
at turn 9.
Sonic
What a move! What
That
a
is
move by
brilliant. That is
Sonic.
racing right there. No damage to anyone.
I think what we
As
really have to take away from this is that
Domitor
the
is
cops
trying
are
to
really
the inside of Nupshan again.
Does Domitor have damage?
I
don't think he
can't
does.
see
I
anything
don't
on
think
the
he does.
car,
Yeah,
but
it doesn't look like it. Okay, what's the
you can
leading
see
two
how
do?
hard Domitor was trying.
The
And look at
leading
how much
pair
they've
might
lost to the
Yeah, it's
leading
8
pair.
seconds now. I think they might box the leading pair. Will
Yeah,
they? At least one of
In
them
in,
might.
in all of
No, they
this,
don't.
in all of this, Mayank is coming into play because he's coming closer and closer to the medium runners.
yeah, and I think
He's
there's
just
another
4 seconds off
spinner
them.
in the field. I think that was.
Okay. And Sonic Hawk on option. The two medium runners trading places, and Smith will also follow suit, going down the inside. And I think that's a very neat move by him. He will move out after the P1 option. Has lost two places, but he might well gain them back.
I think Nupshan's running a lot more wing than anyone.
I think he's not having the straight line speed on the.
Oh, and Smith is going down the inside of. Oh, sorry, that was Sonic.
No, that
Oh,
is Smith.
Nupshan has to take avoiding action there.
Smith was very slow. Did he make
Yeah.
a mistake on the curbing?
I think he had a moment and then chose just to take the.
I think, guys, I think Domitor is going to come in the pits now because he's lost a little bit of touch to this pack now. I mean, he's there.
And he's
right
going to
there,
get
but
caught
he's
up
lost
by
a bit of
Mayank.
touch. Yeah.
He's not won as Falcon yet, remember. Yes, you and him had a ding dong battle for this very championship a couple of years back. You can curse out. That was a cue to curse out Malav. Smith and Sonic Hawk was on these side by side.
Yeah.
But that was a cue to curse out Malav in the chat. As
That's
Mayank.
alright. I'll just take it on the chin and say I could have won one more race if I wanted to win the championship.
Yeah. All
Well,
right.
we focus on the lead for now. Will either of them box? They do not seem to be wanting to come into the pits, guys.
I mean, there's no
Rahul and
point. They're 10
Seven.
seconds ahead of P3. These guys are
Yeah.
all battling amongst each
Well, we
other.
were
So
expecting them to box as well, but they've opted against it. So that's a smart
We see
strategy to like play as the
Sonic
race
Hawk
is
is
going on.
his battery is empty. Oh, never mind. Smith's battery is even worse than that.
yeah, which means
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Oh,
three
and it's
wide
gonna.
this time.
Domitor.
Sonic Hawk, it is not even in
They got involved.
contention by the time they reach the entry point of the turn.
And look who's behind
Oh,
Domitor, it's Falcon. He's right there. He is in the perfect spot where he needs to be. Look
oh,
at
Yeah,
Falcon
look
and
at
Sonic.
Sonic.
That's too close. That's too close, but it's great to see.
Oh,
Domitor
Sonic so overshot. It slightly almost hits an option, but because this game is so judicious with its steering, he's able to avoid a contact right there on
Now,
23. That would have been a definite collision.
you know
Oh,
that.
this
An option for the dive. Sorry, Sonic for the
Sugoi!
dive. Sonic for the dive on option, but he won't be able to make it stick.
Oh,
Oh,
someone spun! That's Domitor.
That
Yeah.
was his softs gone.
I
But you know, in all of this, I mean, they made one overtake easier for Mayank, but he will have to make the move because he is on the tire where now at this point of the race he has to start making up time. So
Yeah, they have
he
lost
will have
quite
to
a
make the
lot to
moves.
the front too, by the way. They're in their own league right now. So,
I think
any doubts
Falcon
about
is
D1 being too boring, guys? There's a 12-second gap, 13-second gap between P2 and P3.
Well, it is only the first race, so let's wait and see what happens here. And I think what's
Let
gonna
me run
happen
my
right now
agenda,
is that,
Chips.
yeah. Okay, go for it. Okay, once again the leaders swap positions. Seven is back into the lead ahead of Rahul. I think, guys. Okay.
Oh, he's
Oh,
locked
he
up, he's
knocks
locked
out.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, Smith,
Oh, Smith
Smith
boxes.
pits. Smith
Oh,
pits.
smart. That's smart. I think doesn't make sense for him to
What
stay out
tires
any
is he
longer.
gonna go on?
Oh, and look at Falcon.
Might be
He's got to play it
hard.
smart here. Got to really play it smart into turn one. Let's see what he does. He has the
I
grip.
think
He
he's done
definitely
it.
has the grip.
He's done it. I think that's the move made because
He has
will have
DRS as well.
DRS.
Yeah,
He
Navshin
does.
doesn't. So
Exactly, so I
Navshin's
think
gonna
that's a
be
nice-
defending
Navshin
more
will
than.
keep it down the inside.
Unless Navshin
And-
dies on the inside, he won't. Falcon's
Yeah,
done
and
it.
that should be him. And
I
now
think-
the alarm bells are gonna ring, and Smith is definitely on a one stop. So let's see how the leaders react.
Smith has opted for the hards as I thought he would. So crucially, he is still 2 seconds ahead of Abdul. So I think that is
Yeah.
roundabout what the gap was.
And good
when
thing
they
for
were
Smith
both
is look
on
at
track.
this. He came out in such a nice gap.
Yeah.
He didn't come out in any traffic whatsoever. And I think now is the time to pit because you see there's huge gaps in the field. Aside from Sid Venkatesh and Vintage, both
What's the pit lane time loss here, guys? Approximately
27 seconds around.
27. I
Yeah.
think if Seven and Rahul pit, they'll come out between Mosquito and Vintage at this point in time. So maybe they opt to do it, maybe they don't. Let's have a look. Okay, Seven into the pits and Rahul follows him in. And that is the two leaders pitting in tandem. So I think
Yeah.
it's going to be straightforward. They're both going to pit for the hard tires. I think
Well,
that's
whoever
gonna be clear.
activates their pit lane, I mean, whatever you call that thing, whoever
The
presses
stoppy
the
goey.
X button. Why is
Both
my
of them on
controller
hard.
vibrating?
Yeah.
Both on hard tires.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is
Oh,
because the
they're
game is
both
on the-
inside each other
Oh,
right now. That's some content that Shrikant Das would love.
An option into the tentative. He's not
Lead.
made, but he's into the lead of the race. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only
So
10
what's
minutes.
their gap to
Coming out
Mayank?
very close to the others. What
only
this
a
is going to be?
four.
Oh,
messy.
there's contact
Oh,
between Rahul and Vintage, but I think they should all be fine. Just a little bit of archie-baji. No Gutierrez Maldonado from back in the day.
Flo Smith makes his way past Abhi, but he's a bit out of touch right now. He should be able to build it in over the next few laps. Well, let's hope
But
for
look
that.
at Smith gain time on the leaders. He is.
Thing is, Seven is in a great position. He has Sid Venkatesh as a buffer between himself and Rahul. So
Yeah. And
That
he's
will
gonna have
only
to
aid him, but
wait
he's
all
gone
the way
a bit of a
until the
lock-up
slow
here.
section.
But I think
And Sid just hits.
that's it. That didn't last long.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Just like
gonna say that.
Shrikant's D2 title hopes.
Well, up front, there is still hope for Falcon because he is showcasing some great pace.
They're 7 seconds ahead of behind
He is within
Falcon.
earshot of a
So
podium. He is within earshot of a podium, Falcon. I'm quite positive of that. Should he be able to keep it on track, he is definitely gonna get P3 here. Because I think it's gonna be hards to mediums, no doubt. I don't think he should risk and go under the softs. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't count out Sonic Hawk also. Any of these top three right now,
Yeah.
they're pretty much fighting for third position.
That
Yeah.
is
A safety
true.
car would well spice this up, you know. Um,
And the thing is, the leaders are catching them, and Sidvi is into the pit lane, and Vintage is not. So Sidvi has decided to box. Is it going to be for the hard tires? I think it is. I think that's going to be the case. No other reason to pit at this point in the race. But Falcon with DRS, will he make the move on Option? Around the outside he goes, breaks a little later than Option, and they're going to go side by side. Who will have the better grip out of the corner?
oh,
It is
Napshan
going to be
has a bit of
Falcon.
a wiggly moment
There you
there.
go. Falcon is up into the lead of
Yeah,
the race.
it's now up to Falcon to really break free now. We can see that he has the better tires, definitely
Falcon
right
can
now.
extract a little more of his
He
tires
needs to
now. He needs to do so,
he
yeah.
needs to push.
Option is
It
not
would
having
help
the
him.
best,
It would help Falcon if Sonic Hawk put some pressure on
which I think he
Nuption
is.
also.
That's happening naturally as well. I don't think he's having the force.
Meanwhile, the top two battling also could put Mayank into play because they'll gain lesser than they would if they were just driving line astern.
That is true. Let's see. It is going to be lap 13 and lucky or unlucky 13 for these top
Because
three.
look, they haven't really gained on Mayank. They've only gained, what, a half a second since they came out of the pits.
What do you do if an Option and Sonic? When do you pit and what do you pit onto? Do you opt
Either
for the
have to go
softs
for hards
or
now. The soft tires just will not last.
Do you
What's
just take the
happening between
gamble? I
Abdul
think
and
that's what you
Smith?
did about 2 seasons ago, right? To stay out on those tires and then
Yeah,
opt
but
for
that
the
was a different
softs,
game
but
with a different
yeah, I mean that's a
tire
strategy
mechanic.
option that I'm trying to
Sonic
bring
Hawk
into
does
play here.
box.
But yeah, Sonic boxes. I think he's going to go onto the hard. Sorry, Nuption might attempt what you did, Vivek. That's what I'm trying to say. That one of them might attempt to go long on the mediums. Even if they lose time, they'll attempt to gain it back on the softs.
I think even in real life,
Pirelli
Pirelli brought a softer compound to Bahrain this year in 2024. So
And
that's
Mayank
what.
does keep Nuption behind for 2 DRSs. Now maybe it is time for him to break away. Whereas Suraj and Rahul are catching up half a second.
So
They're catching up by about
Sonic,
5 tenths a lap. I
Sonic
don't
and
think that's enough right now for getting a decent enough tire advantage over the guys in front of them.
I think Mayank's going to be around
Sonic
15,
is behind
16
Smith.
seconds behind with
Yeah.
like 11, 12 laps left. How many cars
Around
he's going to have to
mediums.
pass? Is that. Oh, I thought Rahul went deep there. He did go slightly deep.
See, at this very point, if Mayank does box, he's going to come up behind Deadly Mosquito. Maybe probably behind Archit as well, but definitely not behind Abdul Samad. But then that's all, Mosquito and Archit are also bound to box. Abdul Samad is on fairly newer hard, so maybe he's not going to box right now.
Yellow.
You'd
Yellow.
have
safety car.
safety car.
Safety car.
Safety car.
Safety
What
car,
does Falcon
Nuption,
do?
you genius.
I think
Oh
Falcon
my
will
god,
have
he
to
has.
box. He has no option
he
here,
will have to
Falcon. He
box.
has to
He's
box.
been kind of T-boned, and
This is
this
perfect for
will.
Option.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
perfect for
perfect for an option. What? Why is there a safety car? No one's DNF'd.
Well, so I saw somebody spin. I did.
But
explain a bit,
Nuption
yeah,
is going to
not sure.
have 2 lap old, 2 lap younger hard, but he's going to fall behind even Deadly Mosquito. No, Deadly Mosquito is
No,
boxing.
everyone's gonna have
Yes,
to pit. Even
So
the hard
this
one
is
is
the
gonna have to
perfect
pit.
situation for them. Yeah, this is the
Because you're
perfect
gonna get
situation.
swallowed up. Of course,
Abdul
by the
Samad
way,
stays out.
Oxidize gets a
Oxidize with
10
a
seconds for
penalty.
speeding in the pit. Has just
So
not gone
Falcon
right. Yeah.
on track is in P3, guys.
Yeah.
On track.
But he's
That
gonna
has
have to
played
make
out.
the tire last.
It
He's
is
going to have
gonna
to make
be-
it work.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle for him here. He is on the
Abdul
better
didn't
compound.
pit. Abdul did not pit.
I think that's a gamble he wants to take, and I think Smith has also done the same. Viper with
Vipers
a penalty
gets
as well.
it. Yeah.
Okay,
that's-
so I wanted to mention that Sonic has come out behind Smith, and the pair of them are behind Abdul. So I was quite certain Abdul was behind Smith. So I'm not sure what's happened there between the pair of them. But this has played out perfectly for Nuption, and I don't think Falcon will be quite happy with it, though he is still in a very advantageous position here in the race. I think he still has a long way to go in the race.
Yeah, I think he should have the faster tire all the way until lap 23, 24. Keep in mind, this is gonna stay out for until lap 16 or 17. He's gonna have the faster tire for a long time. It's whether he can get to the end without that tire blowing up.
I don't think that's going to be the case. The thing is, I think he should be able to do some tire conservation, and behind the safety car, it will be minuscule, the tire wear. If
But you know how great
Let me
this game
correct you,
is.
Chips. Let me correct you,
it
Chips. It's
should
actually
be.
not like that
Yeah.
because it all depends on the way you try warming up your tire.
Yeah, that's why
And
I said it
if you
should
do
be.
go
Yeah,
overboard like what
exactly.
Rahul is doing on, which is pretty much the outlap of the safety car right
Yeah.
now, and now Suraj, I don't know why they're doing that. Why are they doing that? They're already on
I
older
don't.
tires than everyone behind
I
them.
don't know.
Well, that's why I
I
say that you
don't.
should try to do that. But yeah, obviously this is F124. It is a
And the way Falcon is
fantastic
doing
game.
it, he's not going to warm up his tires at all
Falcon,
if he's going to
yeah,
do it so gently.
it
And
doesn't make
also,
sense to
like
warm it
right
up
at the
now.
beginning of the safety car phase as well, what Chips was getting at, what Chips was
Hey,
alluding
look
to.
at these guys. They're going
Look at
about as if
Napshan
they're
though.
going to start.
Smith is basically Kimi Raikkonen this. Look at him, just going straight.
It makes sense
Does
though.
not
Why
care.
would you want to
Has
bother
no
with
care
them?
in the
Yeah,
world.
it
No,
doesn't
but
make
he's
sense. But
that. What Chips, I mean, what Smith is doing is absolutely right because he's on pretty much the same tires
Someone make
as
a gif
Suraj and
of that.
Rahul.
I think somebody's in the pit lane. That's Viper Speed probably. Who's into the
Yep.
pit?
Look at
Is he?
Rahul. The
Yeah.
temperature Rahul is trying to generate in those tires is absolutely insane.
The
Wow.
thing is, guys, the safety car might come in this
No,
lap
it's
because
not
I
gonna come in
think
this lap. Look at where Bullister is.
Bullister's already
He's
at the start
he's
finish line.
almost
He will
gotten
not
lap.
box.
No, Bullister is
Sorry,
it's
not
in
Bullister.
sector
That's
2.
Shah. That's Shah. I'm sorry. My apologies for that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way it's coming in this lap.
No,
Yeah.
but even if it does come in this lap, you don't start weaving it on the outlap of the safety car because
Well,
you're
I think
just
that's
going to
just
degrade your
force
tires.
is it force of habit that's causing these drivers to do that?
No, it's not force of habit because in F123 the tires went off even worse than this.
It's trying to be like real life.
Yeah, but this is the farthest thing from real life that we'll ever get.
Only the officially
Falcon has
licensed
left a
game.
little bit of a gap to the leaders. Should he be doing that?
Yeah, I mean, as it's within 10 car lengths, it's fine.
I think it is, yeah. No, I just hope nobody reports for that because that's really going to be unnecessary to report for something like that.
Chips, are you having an opinion as a commentator?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I'm allowed to, right? I don't think commentators are allowed to have opinions.
Yeah.
Not particularly so. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yes, that is my opinion. It's quite unnecessary to report somebody for something like this, but I don't expect anybody to do that. Nonetheless, Bulliest, I think the safety car will be in next lap. I think you're right. Bulliest is a long way back. Although we have seen instances in the past where the safety car has been called in, even
Yeah,
when the last car has
burnt.
not caught up to the field.
Oh.
There you go.
Thank you! What hacks do you have, Chips?
I'll take my payment in cash. Thank you.
You can-
Absolutely, as
and you still won't
expected.
buy the game.
Yeah, I still won't. No interest. Let's have a look at the leaders now.
I am going to
think
watch some
I've got
Falcons on board because he
Yeah,
is
I
going to be
was
the
gonna say the
fastest. I think
I'll
someone
come
should
in-
watch the
oh,
midfield
he's
and
gone.
someone should watch the rear of the field, the vanguard.
Suraj took it a little early, but
Yeah, someone's not reacted at all to the start. Someone has not reacted at all to the start. You can see it in the
Somebody's
background.
pit lane. Somebody's in the pit lane, mind
You can see it in the
That's really-
background. Someone's just not started at all. Look at this big
I
gap
think
here
is that
between.
Sonic Hawk? Is that Abdul? I
Oh,
think it's
and
really
Rahul
not a-
gets Suraj is past. What Rahul? I don't know. My game is glitching.
Oh,
No.
it's Falcons down the inside of Suraj, who was
Is
passed
that
by.
tactical?
Is
I
it
think
on
that's
purpose?
That might be. That might be on purpose.
Now,
I think these two are
Nuption's
working together.
tires. The disadvantage with having new hard tires, of course, is that they take longer to get into that operating window. Hard tire, it's durable, but it takes a long time to come into the operating window.
The midfield is getting spicy here. Archit and Mosquito are going to go side by side into turn 9. This will not end well if they're going
Oh,
argy-bargy
this
like that, and it has
one!
not.
Deadly mosquito on Archit's slide. Archie
That's not
Barji.
what you need to do there. To that corner.
Contact
Domit
maxing
got a
Domithard gets a
penalty.
3-second time penalty.
His race has just gone backwards, I think, from the race start.
Season
Sonic
ban
and
for
Abdul side by
Chips,
side.
according to Caesar, for stressing your opinions. In chat,
Oh, no.
as Sonic goes to go around the inside of Abdul, and he has gotten that move done slightly forceful, but you know, he had the
Abdul
line.
is falling back. Should he have boxed, guys?
I think he should have. He's on
Falcon
9 lap
takes a
old
little too much of
hards.
the curb, but he should be in.
Up front, Falcon is on the offensive. He wants to make his way past Rahul, but I think he should be clever.
And meanwhile,
wait for the
Suraj
DRS.
is gonna get overtaken by Nuption. So those hards, those scrubbed hards are just not the move right now.
And
Look
he's
at how
made it.
easily.
Options ahead. And he
Look at
also
how easy that
forced
was.
Seb into a big deep, so that is...
But Suraj's card did not turn. It just did not turn.
I think he could not. Oh, yellow flag once again. Is that Vipers who had a spin or a... No, that's
Yeah, I
okay.
think that's why Viper decided to spin.
Yeah, I was trying to see if it was going to be a safety.
Mayank will have to get this move done ASAP because, you know, if Rahul
2.5
keeps this
seconds
lead,
is not safe to Nuption.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. They really
Especially
need to
when
pull away
he's
right
gonna
now.
have to go into his
And now, 7
conservation
is going to be under threat from
maxing.
Sonic Hawk. 7 has older tires than even Sonic
Who are
Hawk.
the stewards this season? Noble, that's a good question.
Well, I think one of them is speaking right now.
are we allowed to disclose that information?
Are we?
Are we?
I don't know.
I genuinely have no clue.
I know who it is, but I don't know if it's like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think I've already given it away, so that
yeah,
Yes,
but
chips, a few black SUVs are gonna be pulling up to your house after this race. So yeah, arigato.
Should I get them some Vada Pav? I think that will be a nice treat for them. Yeah, chalo.
No, meanwhile,
bread
Suraj
butter,
is
especially when
looking
they're
to
going to
come
be coming to
back.
pick you up, Chips.
Of course. It's called being a good host. But I think let's see. The host tonight is Vifix and 7 into P3. He's made the move on option, but I think this Arjibaj is going to continue throughout the race. Remainder of the race.
The gap between him and Mayank has become
Oh, Sonic and Abdul!
Suraj is not enjoying
Yeah,
turn one
that tire
at all.
is just not sticking right now.
So Abdul is surviving.
And Nupshan's gonna
He's able
get
to
him
stick
back.
with them. Yellow. Is that a yellow? Is that a
Oh,
safety
there are two
car?
cars. That should be a safe.
That is
that's okay,
Archit
that's okay.
and Azun.
That is okay. That's okay.
No front wing, I think, on Archit's car.
Is it? Yeah, no front wing on Archit's car. You're right. So, oh no, I think he's missing an end plate.
No, he's missing both end plates. So yeah, no front wing basically.
How do you manage
Shard,
to
it's
destroy
another
both end
piece.
plates but not your front wing? That's a very
realistic physics of this game,
we
you know.
We have to ask him how he's done that. That's a
Physics maxing.
VFX and Chips, you know, Nupshan is not making any inroads either way because like they're all losing time to the leaders now, and I think the story like before again. The top two keep drifting away from the bottom.
think so, Yash, that is the
15.
case because the top two are burning out their tires a bit too quickly, while Nupshan is trying to take it a little longer into the race. I think that's the case right now. Because while they are pulling away, I think as Vivek said, by lap 23-24, they really will be struggling. Rahul as well, even though he's on hard tires, they are older.
Look at how much Suraj is struggling once he's into some dirty air. Rahul's doing the correct job. He's keeping it clean in clean air.
Yeah,
you can tell Nupshan is also running a bit more downforce than the other guy, so he should.
I think Suraj is having issues into turn.
Someone sped. Who sped? Sonic sped.
Sonic. That's an odd decision.
Does he have wing damage?
Let's see Suraj gets it right this time.
He breaks early. I think
breaks very early this time.
But then Nupshan will go for the switchback. I think he will
this is. He's just doing the same thing every lap.
Oh, but Suraj got a good exit. He got a decent exit out of that corner.
Yeah, I think his Nupshan's broken way too early there, and now he's going to have to follow Suraj at a part of the track where he's faster. And I think Sonic did have wing damage because he's lost a lot of time in that pit stop.
Yeah, I think we can have a look at his pit stop.
Oh, Azun, Abhi, as soon as I turn on, it's Abhi's had a half spin. And yeah, so comment the spectator lag jinx right there.
Of course, and the yellow flag indicator is flashing, as Shrikant says so often. Up front though, the gap, let's monitor the gap between P3 and the leaders, because the P3 keeps changing between 7 and Nupshan, so we will have to just call it.
Yeah, now 7 will have to make some heavy inroads.
He has to make inroads, yeah, exactly.
Challenge.
Exactly.
Because this is pretty much settling Mayank for at least a P2 if Suraj can't make any gains right now.
Mayank needs to make this overtake fast if he wants to win the race.
Yeah, I think
Rahul does a 30-2, Mayank does a 30-0, but that was with all the DRS assistance. So I think he's finally starting to push it now, and we might see a battle up there. Meanwhile, Nupshan, I think, has just decided to go Kalma a bit.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to go for the move here.
So it absolutely locks out.
He kind of does, but he does slow it down in time. So his front tires will be really crying out for help here, Suraj, because he's not doing them any favors right now, especially in turn 1, as we've seen on multiple occasions. Do you think he has issues with his setup, or is it issues with his just the game itself?
I
But it could
would,
be a mix of both. I think a
yeah.
mix of both, honestly. That is what we've come to learn from this game franchise. That
So
it's
by
not.
the looks of it,
Yeah.
Mayank has his temperatures in control right now. The car is operating well. His rear not stepping out. His front is cooperating very well. But Rahul is struggling a little bit. Probably he is trying to chuck in the car a little more than Mayank right now. He can do so obviously because he is on the harder compound. But
Now the
And
question,
as
as there's
a yellow
flashing
flag,
yellow flags, if a
that's
safety car
bullish
came
stuff.
out now, would you
No,
pit?
that's okay.
Would you pit? If you were the
Depends who
lead,
you
top
are.
two.
It
I
depends
think
who
you
you are.
can pit and go on to a fresh set of. So I have done this before, but that is obviously a different game.
Yeah.
And it
See,
was on
from
my
a
own.
person who's done just your normal amount of 300% races on this track because career mode kept glitching. Thank you, Codys. I would say that the softs are not going to last, as Mayank has made a mistake and he's been broken in terms of the DRS.
I think, yeah, Mayank.
Yeah, but as you can see, Suraj has drifted
Nuption and
further apart.
Nuption and 7. Oh! Nuption forces 7 into locking up once again
He's
into turn
really
1. That
struggling
was
at that
nice.
turn one. Maybe needs to
Yeah,
go
this is.
backwards on the bias.
But you see, his whatever he's doing, he's getting a brilliant exit out of there, much better than all the guys behind him, which is keeping him in that
Oh,
P3
Navshan
right
had a
now.
moment there.
You're
I
talking
heard
about
that rear
Nuption,
tire
right,
squeal.
Yash?
Sorry.
Yellow?
Sector
You're
one,
talking about
yellow. I think
Nuption,
that's
right?
Viper
Are you
speed
No,
talking
I'm
about
again.
talking
Nuption?
about Suraj because he
Oh,
does
Viper
lock
speed
up in
is
the middle one.
lodged. His car is lodged. He's
Viper is
beached.
stuck. Viper is
Yeah, he's
stuck.
beached it. That's gonna be a safety
Yeah.
car.
Will he choose to reset to track? There's a moral decision he has to make right now. Does he reset? Does he get disqualified?
I'm going to give
Should he
Cody's
get
5
disqualified?
seconds to either pull
Should
out
he
a
get
Oh,
safety
that
car.
he
disqualified?
got
That might bring
disqualified.
out a
Oh, no.
safety car. That might bring out a safety car, will
No,
it?
disqualifications don't bring out a safety cars.
And yeah,
Yeah,
he's doing the same thing that Viper was doing himself. But there you go. That's the end of his
He's
race.
already disqualified. How many times
Yeah.
is he going to get disqualified?
yeah, he just got disqualified twice,
Yeah.
and now there's a yellow flag in that zone
Well, it's important, just hammer
after
it
the
into
car
all
has
the viewers'
disappeared.
minds. Yeah, exactly. Falcon has gained a little bit of time on Rahul, but it's not really enough. He needs to be gaining at a more rapid rate. I think.
Yeah.
But what does he
Or
do?
you know, at this point, if maybe in a lap or so, if he can't bring that gap down
Oh,
any
Navshan's made a
longer,
mistake. Abdul spun. Oh no, wait, Sid spun. Sorry, Abdul's made a mistake. Sid
No,
has spun.
Smith spun.
Oh yeah, sorry. That was just me getting all lost there
Yeah.
with the
I
cars.
mean, it's quite
so
difficult
by
to.
the looks of it, Falcon
Yes.
doesn't have it anymore in the tires to keep it with Rahul. But he's settling into a groove now where he can maintain the P2 because 7 is not being able to close the gap down to him anymore.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that should he not be able to catch up, I think he should just accept P2 and move on with it. I don't think it makes sense to ruin your tires in pursuit of somebody who may not be as willing to. I don't
And
think.
we all know that
Oh, okay.
the Mayank is a tough nut to break. He is very consistent through the season if he does get into his groove.
Yes, certainly so. Well, I think it's in his best interest for the championship at large to just hang there, hang on to P2 rather than risk a P1 at this point in time. Because is it though? They're all racing drivers. Do
I
they
mean, I
want
don't think
to?
he has the pace, even if he
Yeah.
wanted to right now.
They
So
would
the only
want
thing
to
is only.
compete, but I don't think it makes sense here. So he may as well just.
And meanwhile,
conserve
Suraj
his
has
tires
broken
and-
Nupshan's
Yeah.
second barrier. So
the
it's,
yellow once again. There's so many yellow flags.
Well, you know, but when you do look at it, you do see Mayank quite, he's not pushing the car. He's very much in control of what he's doing. So you never know if he has he's going to have a last couple of laps charge. Unlikely with the tire situation. But, like if you go on board, you see Rahul much more aggressive with the way he's driving
yellow
his car.
flag
Yellow
sector.
once
Oh, that's a
again.
car.
I think
That's a car who
that's Shah.
retired in the pit lane.
No,
I
that's
think.
Shah.
Okay.
That's Shah who's on track. He's
As he
breaking the DRS board
destroys the
there.
DRS board.
Doesn't like the DRS, I think.
Tribute to
Oh.
Grosjean there.
I'm actually enjoying watching him on track. What's he doing, Shah?
He's doing the wiggle.
Yeah, he's been lapped. I think he's just.
I think this is
Oh,
at
he's
the-
doing donuts. He's celebrating with somebody, I think. No, I think.
I think we've just around hit the barrier where if you're following a car quite closely, your tires are going to start to give up, which is why there are gaps now beginning to form in the field.
You mentioned a yellow flag once again. Is that
That's
Shah?
Shah, that's Shah.
That is Shah. Okay, I think he's just getting out the way. He doesn't want to get involved in anybody's race unnecessarily. That is respectable, I think. So, okay, Vivix, you mentioned lap 23, lap 24. Do you think that Falcon Stars are going to hit
Oh,
the
as
cliff now?
Abdul's stars are going, I know that for sure. He
Yeah.
has just gone wide everywhere on this lap, and that should be easy pickings for Sid.
And the all red car of Sid Venkatesh will look to get into the very famous red 5 position of
Yes.
P5. And yeah, I think
Yeah,
we will
the
be
red
happy
cars would
with.
be lucky in real life to get P5 right now.
Let's see. Well, I think we must be positive and yeah, a little
We
delulu as
will
well.
definitely check and come back to you.
We'll check and come back to you. Okay, copy understood.
Okay, but
Okay,
okay.
understood. Abdul is not going to pit. I think I thought. Okay, he's
Yeah,
pitting down the pit.
Oh,
Oh,
and
he's
he took the
doing
Bahrain
no.
snake.
Yeah.
He at least started the snake and then he didn't continue with it. Meanwhile, Shah is just doing the
Yellow.
victory lap
I
right
think
now.
yeah, he doesn't want to get in people's way. Domathor and Smith
Oh,
have been
meanwhile,
trading places
Smith.
since Smith lost
Oh, bowling
contact.
ball there.
So Domathor lost grip and there's a prolonged yellow flag now for some
That is
reason.
Shah, but I
That
don't
is
know
Shah.
what.
Is he stuck?
Has he
No, no,
punctured
no.
his tire?
Has he?
Uh,
There's a
I'm looking at
possibility,
it. I
we've not
can't
really considered
see.
that. We've not
I
really
can't
considered that.
see it.
Because
Thing
you
is,
see, just
guys,
look at him. Just look at him coming out of this corner now, and
yeah, I think there's a possibility he's punctured his tire,
Oh,
maybe. I think you're
meanwhile,
right.
Mayank and Surya is going to
But
get
he's not
interesting
boxing.
that's
because
not going to help. That's
the
not going to
gap
help.
is
He's
coming
not
down
boxing.
by
He may be
quite a
thinking that if the
substantial
air
bit.
comes out, he
Yeah.
can fill it with grass.
Yes, or sand. There's a lot of sand beside the track. Very easy to do so. Yes, Vifix, I think you got that correctly. 7 is really closing up to Falcon here. So it's really going to be a matter of how well Falcon can manage his pace
Yeah, and
for the
has
That
Shah
rest of
will
the
be,
beached
race.
it now.
but he will have to catch up 1 second a lap,
Yeah, he is
which is
on
going to be
that path.
difficult.
Look at that. He's almost down to on almost Q. Yeah, it is coming down. It's going to be less than 5 seconds by the time we cross the line. Yeah,
Five
look
laps
at
left,
that.
5 seconds to gain. Will 7 be able to do it? Shah with a warning, but that's okay. Okay, yellow flag keeps
And
dancing
Mayank
around.
could find himself out of even the podium because Navshin is right there as well. Now they have gapped themselves from Abdul and Sid. Sid now finally makes a move. Pretty standard
Abdul
DRS
further back,
operating
Vintage,
procedure.
Smith and Domathor. What's going to happen here?
That's
Oh,
a
Vintage
safety
slows
car.
down. Oh,
VSC, it's a VSC, it's a VSC,
It's a
it's a
VSC.
What's
VSC.
happened there? Has Shah bent it into the wall? He has. He has no
Oh,
front wing, Shah.
oh, but
So
this is going to kill the hopes for
not
Oh,
Suraj.
he's one
necessarily.
again.
Not necessarily. Who's man again? Oh, that's Shah. Okay, so
Oh,
Rahul
let's
will have
hope no one
mindset
gets a
driving
drive
for this
through.
car.
Drive
Things
through.
can go wrong so fast here.
Yeah, VSC is really cause for concern because you can
Yeah,
very
because
easily
Suraj,
pick
look
up
at
a
how much
VT.
Suraj has closed up. I'm
Look at
concerned.
Mayank. Mayank is backing off. Mayank is backing off a little too
He
much.
wants to be safe. He doesn't want
Either
to take the
Mayank
risk
is
to the
backing off
delta.
a bit too much
Yeah.
or Suraj is
No
speeding
risk
up
to
a
the
bit too
delta.
much.
No
Yeah,
risk
that
to the
thing just
delta
went.
for him there. Yeah.
The delta just shot up by like 1.5 seconds in one corner.
No risk with the delta there for either of them. I don't think that's what they really need to do here. They just need to maintain their pace and
It's
not pick
quite
up
a
the
long
DT. The
VSC right
VSC
now.
should be ending. I think it should be ending as Falcon comes up to the end of sector 2. It should be ending about then. But let's have a look at when it actually does end.
If
It's
Chips is
actually quite a
right,
long
I'm
way.
gonna just take Chips'
Let's
word
not.
and do some betting tonight.
Yes.
Oh, well, it's not. So I think we
Always
can
bet on the
bet another
ponies.
day. Yes, absolutely. So VSC is actually a long safety. Oh,
And
Shah is
Shah's
retired on the track.
on track,
Will
yeah.
that cause a safety car? Will that cause a safety car?
I don't think it should.
It's too late, I think, in the race to cause a safety
Yeah.
car, or is
And I
it?
don't think the game is capable of going from VSC to
Well, the
VSC.
game is
Yeah, and
not
oh my
capable of
god, it
anything.
ends
there.
on the start finish
There
straight.
you go.
So perhaps the best time for Suraj. He has lost a lap of progress that he would have made, so it needs to be quite drastic now, the amount of time he needs to
But look
gain.
at Suraj. Suraj has gapped Navshan by
Into
2.5
turn one.
seconds.
I think Navshan
So
was
he's
coming
not gonna-
out of the corner exit.
Yeah,
As
Navshan was, I think, caught out a little bit there compared to the top three. But yeah, Suraj
Okay,
is
so
already on the charge.
5.2 seconds was the time when we started this lap. So let's see what
it's
Suraj can do by
already
the
down
end.
to 4.4.
4.8. Yeah. I think it's within that window. I think in the corners is where Suraj will really gain time on Falcon. Because I don't think his stars are really holding up well, Falcon, at this point in time. They will start to
Oh,
struggle.
Suraj
Oh,
makes a
my God, it was
mistake.
very deep.
He has erred under the
Yeah.
heat of
Let's
battle.
not
cost
focus
him
on him.
half a
Let's
tenth.
let's not focus
Okay,
on him for a
Navshan's
while. I
fine.
think that's some stress, unnecessary pressure we're putting on him there for a moment. So I think let's look at somebody who's really been in control from the get-go since the restart. That's been Rahul. He's been on
Yeah,
the pace, he's been on it, and he is comfortably in the lead. I think he has this in the bag.
yeah.
All he needs to do is
Barring,
bring it home.
barring,
Yeah.
absolute
Penalty, yeah. Yeah.
catastrophe, I was gonna say, but.
Okay,
So
yeah.
Suraj has closed up a second by the end of sector 2.
And
So
remember,
if
the
we
gap that he gains is only going to keep increasing lap on lap because the tire is going to that medium is going to degrade more than the soft, the hard. So
Exactly. So already, okay, so guys, the gap is down by a second. It was 5.2, it's 4.2. In one
it's
lap, he's
4.1.
gained
It's 4.1.
4.1, yeah. So he will keep gaining time.
but
It's a matter of
he needs about 2.5 seconds to even have a
one,
chance
one
on
and
the
a
last
half.
lap.
1.5. He can see Mayank, he can see Falcon rather. That is, he's in his
Yeah,
sights.
but
He
Shubh,
has, yeah.
if he
Meanwhile,
gains only a
Vintage
second
and
and a half
Abdul
into
now.
this lap, he's going into the last 2 laps with more than
Oh,
two and a
Vintage
half
and
seconds
Abdul
to go.
banging
Ooh,
wheels
down
there.
the
4.2.
inside, down the inside, and he gets the move done. Does
And he
Vintage
passed.
Abdul's tactic really
Abdul,
not paying off? Is he going to even finish in the points?
he might, yeah, because I think Azun is a bit too far back, but
Oh,
I think
there's a lot of
so
contact
close.
between Smith and Thomas Horn.
It's
A lot
such
of
close
arching
racing.
matches.
It's such close racing. I love to see it. You love always love to see it. So it's down to 3.7 guys. The gap between
So it's
P2 and P3.
half a second in like 1.5 sectors.
The middle
He
sector is
needs
going to
to,
take out a chunk.
but
Yeah.
he locked up there and he
Oh, there's
lost a
a
pretty
That
yellow
was
heavily.
flag.
Sid.
Sid has
Sid, we
spun.
spun.
Sid has spun. Oh no! That is
Ah,
devastating.
copy understood.
On this
That
long
is
right-hander, he
so.
should be gaining a lot of time on Mayank
Yeah.
because
He
the
seems not
tires
gained as
medium
much
will
on
have
this
to.
lap.
Sad for
Mayank's did
him.
a good lap in all fairness to him.
Mayank, yeah, he's had a good lap.
He
It's
just
really gonna
needed
come down to
one
these
good
last two
lap,
laps.
in all honesty.
It'll come down to these
Because
last two laps here. Because mind you, I don't think you can pull
I
up the
think Suraj
battery
only
indicators
needs
here.
one. I think
Yeah.
Suraj only needs one go at it. In all honesty, because
Yeah.
the pace, but pace is like nowhere near the same.
So
Now look at how
1.3
much,
2.8.
seconds, 1.3 seconds is what he's gained there.
and six
He
to
has two
seven
point.
tenths of that is just through the last segment of corner. So there's no way Mayank is even going to be able to defend if they go on lap 29 going into the last corner and they're side by side. So he needs to keep it.
Mind
Basically,
you, okay,
only
Smith
lose a
ahead of
second Smith
Abdul
on the
and Smith
inside of.
going for a move on
Yeah.
Vintage Willie. He does opts against it, and there you go. Smith will stay in P6 for the time being. So Smith in a race of recovery, Abdul in a race of recovery in another way. Oh,
So three
Abdul
tenths
and
is what
Smith
is gained
fighting.
in this lap up till sector 1.
Oh, Abdul down the
That-
inside on two
Oh,
cars. Will
that's
he be able to make it stick
beautiful!
there?
On
Will he be able to
21
make it
lap
stick
old
there?
hard tires!
Old tires. Will
Down
he be able
the
to? No, he's
inside!
been.
Ooh, there's
Oh
contact.
no!
They've stuck together
Oh,
like.
the banging wheels, they are.
And
Well, I don't
Smith
want
is
to
now
say the
going to
word that
try
I was
and.
thinking of. And Vintage coming for the swipe again. So this is fantastic racing. Abdul is up into
So-
P5. That won't stick.
So he's
but
gained
that's
half a
it.
second again in 1.5 sectors. So let's see how much he gains.
He gains a lot in the last sector.
This is the part where he gains, exactly. He gains most of his time. If he brings this down to less than a second, which will be really
I don't
hard,
think
but
that's
if
going
he
to be the
does,
case. I don't think that's going to be the case. Within a less than a second will be too difficult as Vintage down the inside on Smith. But they're still side by side. This is some great racing for P6. Oh, banging wheels there.
Has Abdul actually pulled this off? Is he going to hit
Guys,
P5 on 21 lap old
Guys, the
tires?
gap is 2 seconds. I don't think it's going to be enough for 7.
Yeah, and now the human element though is going to come in. The
Yeah,
pressure,
lap 29 is
the
the last
nervousness.
lap. Last lap for the race leader, last lap for the top 3 and for the remainder of the field as well. As one by one they'll cross the line.
Oh,
And
Dominic
Domitor
Dominic
and
Dominic.
Vintage. Yeah.
And he's
Oh,
spun,
wait,
he's
Domitor
spun,
spin.
he's kept it out
Half
of the
spin.
wall. Azun is
Half-
gonna claim that position.
Yeah. Okay, guys, 1.7. It's down to 1.7, 1.6, 1. What? 1.5.
I think Suraj has saved battery. I think Suraj has saved all the battery for this charge.
but they're pretty much the same on the battery. They're
Equivalent,
not too
exactly.
different.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that they're equivalent on battery. Smith and Vintage and Abdul. This is going to be feisty. This is going to be so close between all of them. And who's ahead for the
Suraj
timing? I
is
think it's
absolutely
Smith.
gonna have to send it in this
It's 1.1.
section.
Is he gonna have
1.1.
DRS? That's
Oh,
gonna change a
Vintage
lot.
down to the
Vintage, Smith,
Yeah,
Abdul,
aggressive
Suraj is
move
into
Smith.
DRS. Suraj is into DRS zone. And but
He's gonna
needs
have
to
one
keep-
chance at the last
Wheel
corner.
banging. Oh, I think Smith has been spun. Smith has been
Yep,
spun.
he has
by
been
Vintage.
spun, and
Back into
Azun,
Vintage, yeah.
another position Azun claims, and Domithor.
Another position he claims. But will Abdul be able
And
to make his
Suraj
way?
did not
And
have
that
DRS
Yeah,
at the
Suraj had-
detection.
Suraj-
Meanwhile,
He
Smith
was,
has won.
Rahul
Suraj was
is
had DRS, but it
just.
didn't improve.
Smith is out of the point. Smith has had another spin. It's a matter of whether Seven can get a perfect exit out of these last two corners.
Meanwhile, the
He was
person who's
looped
gotten
into
Oh, it's
perfect
third.
gonna be
exits
a
out
race
of
to the finish, guys. It's gonna be a race to the finish.
all the
Rahul
Let's
has
corners.
won the race.
Oh,
And
look at that!
Rahul
Look at Suraj
wins.
going down the inside
Suraj
of the
down
last
the
corner.
inside. Last turn. Just gone down. As
Yeah,
Ryan
there's going
Rahul
to be
has crossed the
words.
line, I'm so
There's
sorry
going
for
to be
missing
words
that,
there.
but that might
Yeah.
be going to the stewards as Falcon takes P2, Suraj in P3,
Yeah,
Navshin in
that's.
P4. Vintage is going to win the battle of attrition
Will he though?
in
Will he?
P5
It's still
as
possible. Last corner, anything's
Abdul's
possible.
gonna
Look at
try
Abdul! Exactly what I
the
mentioned.
drag race to the line,
Yeah.
but he has gotten it as Vintage.
Had he got
Fifth
the
for
exit
Vintage,
right,
sixth
he
for
would have
Abdul.
got
Domitor
it. Yeah.
in seventh, but that's penalties, so Azun gets seventh. Domitor in eighth. Deadly Mosquito ninth. Sid 10th. Bulliester after all of that. Somehow 11th. Abhi
Abhi
tailing
12th
close
and a
behind in 12th.
very
Smith
sad
has
end to the
had a
race for Smith.
bad end to the
Yeah.
race, and Sonic Hawks had a bad second half of the race. He was fighting for the win at one point, and he is now gonna
Yeah.
finish
Sonic
14th.
has. Yeah, Smith is retiring into the pits. So, yeah,
Credits
Smith
where it's
very
due for
upset.
Rahul. He's driven an absolute Max Verstappen
Oh,
race where
Yeah.
he's
which
made
is.
absolutely no errors, where he gets zero TV time because he was pretty much in the lead, sailing through himself after the safety car restart. Did everything right with I think what would be the yeah. He definitely the driver of the day for me as well because he's
Yeah, it's
driven a
between him and
stellar.
Mayank because Mayank was
I
nowhere
do want to
in
ask you
qualifying. He
guys.
was
I do
in the
want to
mid
ask
pack. That strategy has gotten him B2. Yeah, Chips.
what is the what's your take on the battle for P2 at the end there? Was it too aggressive by Mayank at the end to just close the door on Suraj? Was it sure did look like that, but I'm sure you have your own
See, I can
perspective
have
there.
my opinion, you can have your opinion.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't want black
At,
SUVs
at the
coming to my
end,
house, so
at
stewards.
the end of the day, only one of us is the stewards from here,
Yeah.
from the three of us. So
Oh no,
Among
that's
one
something I
of
hadn't
three
thought about.
among
Yeah.
till
us.
then, till then, like VFix says, we're just commentators here.
Yeah.
Uh,
As Suraj himself would say, when I'm
one day.
commentating, I'm a commentator. When I'm stewarding,
Yeah.
I'm a steward. Not that I am
I
the
think that's
steward.
the best way to go about it. Yeah. But nonetheless, Rahul with another stellar drive. Once again, he picks up where he left off in 23. He wins the race from pole. Falcon from P9 up into P2. Suraj
Vintage
stays
from
P3.
P11, Abdul
Yeah.
from P10, Azun from P17, and the guys who
Nuption.
were P2
Yeah.
and yeah, unfortunate for them.
Nuption with a good race as well. Vintage with also a very good race. Abdul, good damage limitation despite his old tires. Azun is
So,
P7. I think he
shall I
just stayed.
invite
Yeah.
these?
Please
Yes,
do
the
so. Yes.
three.
Domithor P8, Mosquito 9, and Sid V10. So Sonic Hawk did get the fastest lap of the race, 31.209. That is 5 tenths faster than Rahul, and I believe Rahul only ran mediums. No, he ran softs. Sorry, I forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah, he did
So we
not do
have
anything.
Rahul, Seven, and Mayank, right?
Yes,
Yes,
Falcon.
Falcon.
Oh, I see a Mayank Kumar online. I'm assuming that's him.
Yeah, that is him. Yeah. New username, but the same drivers. We will get their opinions on the matter, and the two of them are quite good friends, so I think
Let
there's gonna be words
Yeah, I'm gonna try
at the
and
end there.
I will do my best journalism here.
Yes. So will I. Okay.
Waiting on Mayank as
I'm
we
just
have
checking
the
what cars
booking.
they had so I know what to show in the showroom. Just make sure people coming into party chat that you guys are audible on stream.
Yeah.
Just checking that.
Just waiting on Mayank.
Where do we actually enable it? Okay, I have
Yeah,
Are you on
opened it
yeah,
PS5
directly.
or PS4?
I mean, until
PS5.
Mayank does join, you
Maybe
know,
I'll
guys,
check.
those last three laps or rather after the restart, was quite Verstappen versus Norris from Imola, where Norris Climbed right up to the gearbox of Verstappen, but couldn't make the move at the end of the day. I don't mean to demean Suraj by calling him Norris, but
And you're offended.
Between
Just
Verstappen and Norris, I would take Norris for sure.
you just offended Lando Norris's fan club or in IRL with that statement, Yash.
that the fan club also has an asterisk, which then translates to if.
Yes.
So I do not know where Mayank is, and I do not know why he's not joining.
Let me try to invite him.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
he's
Oh,
there.
he's here.
on
He's
cue.
here. Never mind.
Can somebody confirm if my voice is audible? I'm not sure if it is shared.
Wow, he said he did he mean to invite him by sacrificing himself?
I mean, I guess the black SUV is pulled up. Caesar works fast.
But since we are already done with race one here, and I'm sure that there is no
Yeah.
secrecy here, we should obviously we fix. Who did you guess is the steward? We fix me or Chips?
I mean, I at first I thought like everyone but me. I thought Shrikant maybe. Um,
No, this is not JK Racing League. I
but yeah,
think.
let's get on with questioning our top three. Yash, take it away.
So yeah, start with our winner of season 12, race one, Bahrain Grand Prix. I am Rahul. A brilliant qualifying and then a good race where you had quite some battle at the initial part of the race, but then after the safety car restart, you really pulled away the gap and kept going, and then you were pretty much in clean air, dictating your own race. So take us through your qualifying, maybe. I mean, if there's something you want to talk about that, and then what was on your mind when you at the safety car restart?
For the qualifying, honestly, I expected not to be on pole because I didn't think I put in a great lap. But somehow it worked out in the end, and with 28.0, I ended up on the front of the grid. And with the race, it wasn't actually battling. We were working together, me and Suraj, just lap after lap, trying to keep up the pace, gapping the field. And that's what we tried to do. And once after the safety car, I was able to pull away, and yeah, it was pretty straightforward after that. So yeah.
So at the safety car restart, when Suraj dropped behind, I think Mayank, was that tactical or was that just an error? I mean, it's a question for
Mm,
Suraj, but just in case that was a
I
plan,
mean,
I
they
just
are
thought I'd
teammates,
ask.
so it is
yeah,
a
no, no.
Not at
Mercedes
all.
question.
Suraj forgot to turn on his ERS. It was not activated, so that is why he lost a lot of time, and I was able to pass him.
So
It was a
VFix,
mistake on his
despite
end.
Jeff repeating it 101 times, people do still forget.
Yeah, so that's why Jeff has to keep repeating it. That's exactly what it is.
But yeah, congratulations, Rahul. That was a brilliant race from you. Error free. You drove a inch perfect race throughout. Good restart, good qualifying, and you got rewarded with P1 over there.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and we will just take Suraj's interview next because I'm too lazy to keep switching back and forth between teams, so we can just keep the Mercedes shot in. Chips, take it away.
Suraj, are you here?
Yep, buddy.
Hey, Suraj. So it's P3 at the end. You had some great pace. I just want to ask you, just what happened at the safety car restart there? Because it seemed like you were in control. At least you were battling quite
I don't think
aggressively
it
and
is a
quite nicely.
P3. It has to be P2. I cannot just imagine what happened in the last corner.
For the
I
time
mean,
being, it's tentative.
it's second time it has happened in that corner incident between both of us, so I'm not sure. But yeah, so I think summarizing, yeah, bad quali lap. I mean, it is, I think, wouldn't say what the pace we both had in quali and what we are able to put. I think initial first, right until the pits, I think right until safety car, everything was fine. Me and Rahul were working together. Were applying executing our strategies well. Safety car, everything was well. I being an idiot at that point of time, my brake bias was up to 60. I typically drive in 55, 54. So I forgot to make it back to 55, and my ERS was in none. So that's why I locked up heavily in turn one. And again, for a lap or so, I was not able to realize why it is happening, because Nukshan was also passing me and my pace wasn't there. I was locking every right, left, and center. And then I realized it. But yeah, by the time I realized it, my tires were gone. And so yeah, I think from that point of onwards, I was just. I mean, I knew I could have caught Falcon much before the last corner, if not for that virtual safety car again, which stayed for almost 8/10 of a lap. And but yeah, I think everything was there. Followed it, and just it was to salvage the race again. So yeah, just in the last corner, I'm speechless, just speechless. But yeah, if he's keeping the P2, then lucky P2 for him.
That will be for the stewards to decide. But nonetheless,
I'm
Suraj, I think that's a good. Yes, Yashwan asked.
sorry to interject here, but Suraj, I mean, just a question there. Why would you change your brake bias in the safety car? Was it just to heat up the tires, keep the tires
Yeah,
safer, or
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah. Because in safety car, obviously, there is no. I mean, it doesn't really help much, but little bit of everything is more than nothing. So I was just keeping
I mean,
that.
because I did see you and Rahul weave quite a bit on the safety car outlap, which
Yeah,
which because the guys behind you were pretty much a little more sober compared to you in that sense.
yeah.
I mean, do you think if you'd done things differently there, you may have had your tires
No,
last a
no,
little longer?
no, no. I mean, my tires did not last longer only because I was driving for almost 2.5 laps in 60% brake bias. I was clocking up. That's the reason why my tires were gone. But it's not because of weaving for sure.
Well, I mean, hard luck on that result. It was a good
Uh,
showdown in the final couple of laps onto the stewards report section, like multiple times before. But you've done quite a lot of things which one of our legends has done rather before. He changed his brake bias, forgot to put it back, locked up into turn one, and then ends up saying that it's a marathon, not a sprint.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we were just expecting podium, me and Rahul. I think this race was all about gauging the pace of the pack. So hopefully, next few races, we'll see where we are.
So
Thank you.
VFX, why don't you take us away with Mayank now?
Yeah, on to Mayank's race. Mayank, you there? That was eventful, I'd say. Um, was that strategy of starting on hards always the strategy, or did that poor quali necessitate starting on the hardest compound? And just good job on keeping that tire alive for so long. A lot of us here thought that you might be nearing puncture territory by the end, but to do such a long stint on mediums at the end, it's a good result, I think. And I mean, I have to ask because people will want the answer. What are your thoughts on the last corner from your point of view? Yes, but the people want drama. That's all right. That was a nice.
I know we could not catch that on the stream, but I could see Suraj nodding in disagreement there.
Also, you're welcome, Malo. All right, everyone. Well, that yeah,
Another
and
season, another Mercedes battle on the
yeah.
hands for you, Mayank.
So we've done all of that. All of that. Wait for two Mercs and Red Bull to lock out the podium. Um, Guys, anyways, it has been a pleasure commentating with you two lovely chaps. Congrats once again to the podium sitters and everyone who actually raced, because we know this game is, it's a challenge to convince yourself to motivate yourself to race. But very grateful, and that if anyone has anything to plug, if there's any league that races also on this game where drivers could use to prepare for this, someone has something to plug right now, would be the perfect opportunity to plug a league. But given all of that, I think we shall leave it at that for now. We will see you next week at the Temple of Speed, which is Monza.
We shall come
And
back to the comes box. All three
yes,
of us will be coming, and we'll see you that time.
Right?
all right, ciao.
All right.
Thank you,
Sure.
boys. Bye.
Congratulations. Goodbye.